Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Vanguard Tactics, and I'm your host, Stephen Box. And if you're interested in Warhammer 40k, you are in the right place because every day at 6 o'clock I go live to answer your 40k related questions. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we have better internet than yesterday. I am working on the internet problem at the studio. New Wi-Fi is coming soon, so you've got me at my home office today. But anyway, I hope you guys in the chat are doing well. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I support all ways to play the game, but really take a bit more of a focus on competitive play. So we're looking at what's balanced, what's fair, and ultimately how to help you become the best general at the tabletop. So we've got some new releases from GW today. Obviously, with 9th edition coming out, we've got the new competitive match play points and an app, which is very, very exciting. So match play missions, this is the first section of the news article. And essentially what we're looking at here is the size of our army. So what I'm going to do is I'll tell you what, I'll bring this up. That might be good. Let's just save that, and I'll bring this up for you to have a little cheeky look at with me in case you haven't seen this so far. But I'll be doing a bit more of a full review on this probably tomorrow as well. Just need to find it on here. Here we go, look. So we've got a 2000. You basically get command points based on the type of army force that you're playing. So in match play, I can imagine we're still going to play 2000 points, which is interesting because there were missions which were coming out at 1750. So I think we're going to see I don't think there'll be any sort of 1750 tournaments anymore. Unless they use 1750 with 12 CP. So now basically command points aren't worked out based on how many battalions you've got and things. It's just here you go. And so for a 2000 point game, which is probably what we're going to be playing in competitive play, you're looking at 12 CPs. Now they did mention on their video today that things are going to get a little bit more expensive, and they've given us some examples of how that's going to happen. Like intercessors have gone up to 20 points per model now. I'm not sure if that includes or not includes war gear, so that will be additional as well. Maybe some of that's going to go up. And I think what GW are trying to do is have a faster gameplay experience, so it'll probably feel like we're actually playing 1750. So the units that need to go up will go up. The units that probably needed a points decrease will probably stay the same. So I think when the new 9th edition comes out, if your army points have stayed the same, you need to think of that as a positive, okay? Because I can imagine probably everything else is going to be going up, especially from, like, as we've seen from simple marines going up in intercessors. So yeah, and then the other thing that they've spoke about is how the mission pack's going to work. And as we can see, we've got secondary missions now, and this is something that we teach on the academy, is how to pick secondaries appropriately. There's a daily lesson every single week all about picking the secondaries. We give you scenarios to look at, and what I will be doing going forward is changing up the secondary format from the ITC to the new mission pack, because if tournaments are going down the new tournament mission pack, then I'm going to do exactly the same, as I want to coach and help people pick the right secondaries when they're at the tabletop. So that's going to be something that we're looking to do, and they've said here that you're essentially picking your secondaries to make your army feel like it actually should do. So we've got here, it says secondary objectives. When you are instructing to select a secondary objective, you can select any presented here. In addition, any secondary objectives listed on the mission you are playing. So there could be, I think what we're going to see is like a bank of secondary missions plus mission specific ones, which is cool. Which is going to be quite nice. You can score no more than 15 victory points from each secondary objective you select during the mission. Now this is really interesting because 15 victory points is really big. One of the problems with GW missions in the past have been like there's been too low a score. There's going to be like far too there's not been enough of a differential, and that was one of my comments when I did a little bit of consultancy with the GW mission pack for when they were doing their GT, was that there wasn't enough to differentiate between the top player that had won 5 games and another player that's also won 5 games, because you could simply win just by 1 point. So now looking at this, if you can pick different secondaries and 15 victory points from each secondary, all of a sudden that's a massive differential on points, which is fantastic. And then we've got each secondary objective listed below has a category, e.g. purge the enemy, which is like kill or destroy. When you select your second objective, you cannot choose more from each category. So what we might find is that there's two main categories. You've got here like purge the enemy, score 3 victory points at the end of each battle round for each enemy character model that is destroyed. So it's very similar to Headhunter, no mercy, no respite. This is an end game objective. Thinner their ranks. If you select this objective, keep a tally of kill points. Each time an enemy model is destroyed, add 1 to this tally, add 10 to this tally instead of this model was a probably vehicle or Titanic or something like that. So that's going to be really interesting. It's kind of like a Reaper equivalent, but it's every model that's destroyed, and obviously you're getting multiple there probably for vehicles and other things, or it could be like a equivalent of a Reaper and a big game hunter combined, which would be an interesting way of doing things. Then you've got battlefield supremacy, engage on all fronts. This is a progressive objective. Score 2 victory points at the end of your turn if you have 1 or more units from your army wholly within 3 different table quarters. All of those units are all more, and then it sort of tailors off. So basically this is very similar to a recon, all right, but you only need to be in 3 of the 4 table quarters. Interesting way of doing it, very easy to score. So it sounds like some of these things should be quite easy to score, so you should be kind of, it's going to be hopefully quite an easy way to score a lot of those secondary points. You've got Warpcraft, progressive, score 3 victory points each time you successfully complete the following psychic action, mental interrogation. So it's a psychic power which if you cast it each time could be great for something like Eldar or whatever it might be that need to get those. Shadow operatives, this is investigate sites, progressive missions, score 3 victory points each time a unit from your army successfully completes the following action. So maybe that's something like we're going to see similar to an engineer or a sappers or something like that. And then what we've got here is a new mission outline. So you've got Eternal War Strike Force. They've gone over 4 pillars. They've got a mission briefing, a very simple way of that this is laid out. You've got the mission, the pillars in this mission. I'll tell you what, I'll bring this up as well, and then we can sort of chat through it together. So guys, let me know your thoughts so far. I know this is very early days, but what do you think? Is this good? Is this a move in the right direction? What do you guys reckon? Here we go. So here we have it. I'll jump over. Oh no, I'll jump over here. There we go. Then I can see it. It's like I'm reading it, So we've got this bit here. Ooh, there. The mission rules. The pillars in this mission reinforcements cannot be set up within range of any objective markers. Okay. And obviously you've got, this is a search and destroy mission. So now, this is really interesting, that the map is already given to us. So there's the random map type is gone on this mission. And this might be the same for all missions now, that you already know when you're playing 4 pillars, you're playing on search and destroy. But this is actually opposite search and destroy, because I don't know if you remember, we actually used to play on the opposite corner. It's not that it makes too much of a difference. So this could be a sneak peek in the right direction, that we will be playing fixed deployments going forward. So in this mission, reinforcement units cannot be set up within range of any objective markers, and there are 4 objective markers 10 inches from the center. So obviously within range should be 3 inches. Hopefully still within an edge. We're yet to see that. But there we have it. So you can't be set up, within range of any objective markers. Primary objective, victory points are awarded for controlling objective markers as follows. Take and hold at the end of each player's command phase. Okay. The player whose turn it is, and remember now with the command phase, that happens at the start of the turn, I believe. So this is kind of like scoring at the start of your turn. So you might need to hold that objective for an entire turn before you actually get it. At the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is scores 5 victory points for each of the following conditions that they satisfy, for a maximum of 15. Wow, this is big. This is some big scoring right here. At the end of each player, score 5 victory points for each. They control 1 or more objective markers. They control 2 or more objective markers. They control more objective markers than their opponents. This is hold and hold more. But instead of 1, it's 5 points. We're going to get some huge scoring games now. The primary objective cannot be scored in the first battle round, so this only starts from turn 2 onwards. Secondary objective in this mission, when the players are selected, their secondary mission, they can, but if they wish, choose one of the to be the siphon power ability. If you select this objective, units in your army can perform the following action. So the siphon power action, 1 or more units from your army can start to perform this action at the end of your movement phase. Each unit that starts to perform this action must be within range of a different objective marker. Okay, a unit cannot start this action while an enemy unit excepting an aircraft are within range of the same objective marker. The action is completed at the end of your next command phase, and if you score a number of victory points depending on how many units completed this action, this phase as shown in the table below. So it goes 1 to 4 and it goes from 1 to 10 victory points. Okay, interesting. So obviously this is all need a bit of play testing. It's all very new to us so far. And then they talk about some points values and apps basically. But yeah, going to be very, very interesting. And hopefully this app is ready to go. Yeah, on the same day as pre-orders go live, the app will be launched alongside it. Nice, that's brilliant. So we're going to get, hopefully the app will be ready a week before, the rule set will be on there, you know, the points, so we can start making some army lists and all that cool stuff as soon as that app goes live, which will be great. So yeah guys, what do you think? What do you think in the chat? Let's have a little discussion about it. Brian said, how do you say a traditional Mexican hat and what does it have to do with Harlequins? Well, the Dreaming Sombrero is a fantastic Harlequin relic that you can take. It's a really round hat, flies around, chops off heads, comes back. There you go. That's what it does. And also that Harlequin, what you've got to do is with his mask, you've got to give him a fantastic moustache. Okay, good old moustache. And yeah, that'd be great. John said, hello Stephen and greetings from Sweden. Do you think any of the new AdMech will have a place in my knights list? 3 knights, Rusty 17 and Gulliman. I don't know. I really don't know how that's going to work. You know, you might be paying a lot of tax to take the Rusty 17. Why would you need the Rusty 17? What do they do for you? Unless you're taking it for Graia, or Graia just to deny powers maybe. Who knows? But yeah. Carl said, 12 CP, what shall we do with it? Well, in my current build, it's just made my Blood Angels amazing and my Harlequins not so great. So it's going to be interesting. I think there might be, you know, less. We might be able to get CPs back per turn. Who knows? You might be able to gain some in the command phase. If so, that would be great. But yeah. Leverus to say, yay, now Harlequins have even less CPs. With all of our 2 CP straps, we are... and a swear word. Please don't swear, okay? Please do not swear on my channel. This is a kid-friendly show. Not that many children watch it, but I appreciate some of you have got children and you might want to have me on in the background, or they might be running around, and I would prefer it if people didn't use that language. It's not needed. But I agree, yeah, some of the stratagems in the Harlequin book could come down to bring them on par with some of the other books. But anyway, I'm sure we'll find a way around it. Yeah, I think some armies which will be really hurt, like the Orc shooting list is going to really struggle. Yeah. JW said, Stephen, there are already rumours that the American ITC is heavily considering the GW's new mission pack. I don't think that's a rumour. I'm pretty sure that Reese on who runs Frontline Gaming and the ITC, wrote the ITC mission pack, who's also been one of the playtesters for Games Workshop. It's done a fantastic job, and I think it's said pretty much that they'll be moving over to the GW, and I think that was on their live stream this week, so you can check that out on Signals from the Frontline, so definitely go and check out them. And that's on the Frontline Gaming Network podcast or YouTube channel. Carl said, have they already got info for that? The tabletop size is rumoured to be changing to 60 by 40. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. Don't know. Is ITC now dead? Probably not. There'll be still some people that really love the ITC. So the ITC is, you got to think of the ITC as not just the mission pack. So when you talk about the ITC, it basically stands for the Independent Tournament Circuit. That will still be a thing. So if I want to run a tournament, I can, sorry, I didn't mean to bash the microphone. If I want to run a tournament, I can still rank it and register it with the ITC to get players points and all that stuff, get the ITC support, and I'm free to run my event in any way I want. Now the ITC mission pack is different. A lot of ITC events just use it because it's kind of a done for you mission pack, and it saves people writing their own mission pack. So now they've got a choice. Do they run ITC or do they run book missions? Or in the past they've used WTC missions. So yeah, that will still be an option. What have we got here? Why would the boards change? Everyone sells 6x4 mats. I don't know if it will change the board size, to be honest. I think that's a massive change if they do. And that all of a sudden makes the game, I don't know, that takes 12 inches off. And I tell you what, I can probably work it out from this map type. So we've got, this is probably done to scale, this image, and I can imagine somebody could work it out based on what they've done here. So let's have a little look. I'll tell you what, I'll be able to work it out from this grid system they've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so what GW have done in this image that I'm looking at is they've actually put on here how many squares it is. So it only takes, how many squares have we got? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're 44 squares up. So that is slightly shorter than a 48. If each of those squares is, and they're still measuring in inches, so I can't imagine they would move over to that. So yeah, I think it will probably stay the same. And then across, this could take a while to count, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's 30 inches across. So if it is double, that may be where that rumour's coming from. So that would only be 60. But that could just be how the diagram has been drawn. Who knows? I don't know how. Maybe it is going to a 60. But there's definitely 12 going up. So there's, or 22 going up. So that means there's 44. So that would be a 60 by 44 inch map, which is just strange. Yeah, that's an odd one. And what I'm looking at is the deployment map that they showed. So who knows? It could be 60 by 44, which seems like a really, I wonder what that is in centimeters, if that's some sort of, let's have a little look. Inches to centimeters. So we've got 44 is 111 centimeters by 60, 152. Who knows? Who knows? Could be. Could be. What have we got here? this is a great direction, especially for those who is confident with the ITC. Exactly that. In, you know, for the guys on the Academy, I talk a lot about the ITC, so it's going to be a very easy transition for all of us on the Academy, and I'll still continue to do the same. Carl said, when we see how the detachments will work, then we'll be happy. Absolutely, yeah. I think fixed deployment will be dull. It depends how many missions there are. It really depends, and some missions do work better on certain fixed deployments. And again, like if you're playing at your local club and you're playing it with your mate, you could do random, but obviously this is just you can still play Aiden the game in the way you want to intend, you know, play it in any way you want to intend it to play, but it just means for competitive play and ranked tournament play, we've got a little bit more control over fairness, and I would agree to going over to a fixed deployment. Yeah. Also means you can, the great thing about this is it actually allows you to, like I've just done an entire lesson on mission preparation, so all the guys on my academy are going to know exactly how to prepare for the missions properly, sorry. So that means that the people that are more diligent are leaving less things to chance, and the mission pack then would reward the people that are putting in the groundwork, putting in the hard work, and that's exactly what all sport and who have a skill level have, or any game system. The higher or the more you put in, the more you should get out, and I'm a firm believer of that, so I'm all supportive of it. JW, I really hope that there is still a purpose for troop. Yes, guard tank battalions are cool and games, but I still think there will be purpose for troops. They're not gonna, they'd have seen this coming, and they're not gonna just let, for example, people just fly off the radar. Marco said, tactics apart from the obvious needed for different types of missions and objectives are competitive. Like, what do you think a good kill point? What do you think of good old kill point missions? I don't know, I do like a mix, to be honest, of holding and killing, because not everything can kill and not everything can kill everything, so and not every army's bred to do that, so I like to have a variety in a mission pack. It's also drawn, that is drawn to scale on a 6x4 foot board. I don't know if it is. When you look at the squares, that's what I was literally doing. JW, I've met some of the, it seems to me that GW have been looking pretty in depth for what makes the ITC format so good. Absolutely, why wouldn't they? You know, it's so popular. Manic Stations, love the look of GW are taking here. Think it is making it easier for new players to get into the ITC GT. Absolutely, we all want to make that transition much smoother. Do we know pre-order dates yet? No, not yet. Zeka said, the command point change is much better now. Every unit is a purpose instead of just taking cheap to gain extra CP. Love it, yeah. Wow, I've heard all the characters will get Gazgul's max 4 wounds per phase loss. All armies without psychic phases will struggle. I mean, that's big if they get that. I could see maybe all monsters having that, or maybe all vehicles getting that, potentially, but I don't know about all characters. That would be, I don't know about that. Not sure. Yeah. Landmark networking, random question, do all 40k players use inches even in metric countries? Yeah, inches is kind of like the standard. I don't know why, but it just is. It's probably easier to measure, isn't it, than well, it's not. It's the same, but yeah. It probably gives you a bit more of a, it's either in or it's out with an inch. Bit more wiggle room, I suppose, for error as well. Or whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You could argue it either way. I haven't really given it much thought, which would be better, actually. Thomas has said, please give me some tips for Abaddon. I want to make him competitive. I mean, I think he can be competitive. He's an absolute beast. You just got to get him there. So it's all about having the right delivery system with him. So if I was running Abaddon, what would I do off the top of my head? I'd probably running with lots of Terminators, to be honest. And I'd probably take ones that I can really fortify their invulnerable save to make sure he can definitely make that charge turn 2, get him in, and make sure he's providing plenty of buffs to combat as well. So yeah, really making the most of reroll all hits is fantastic, is exactly what you want to do to make him good. But we don't know what, you know, new rules might change that completely. JW, Stephen, what's your opinion on the intercessor point increase to 20 points per model? Do you reckon that is the trend for most units in the game, especially among the 2.0 Marines? Well, let's be honest, Marines have been killing the meta recently, so I'm sure they deserve a increase in points. Intercessors are far too good. When you look at a tactical squad boy, and I think it's like an extra 20 points, you're always going to take that 5-man intercessors over the 5-man tactical Marines. But on the tabletop, they play so much different. So yeah, if it's now a 35 point difference, then you might consider taking those tactical squads. So who knows? What have we got here? Right, guys. So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. So, very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting stuff. Leverus has said, I'll give another one. Pre-order rumoured for 2 weeks and new edition drops on 25th of July. Well, the 25th of July is my birthday. So that would be extremely exciting. So if it was on my birthday, what a day that would be. That'd be a gift, wouldn't it, from GW? To me, that'd be my birthday. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that there. And just a couple of things before I go. New Harlequins podcast is on iTunes and also available on YouTube. It's called Harlequins Tactics. I thought I'd keep it simple. It was recorded before the 9th drop, so a couple of things, literally about 2 things we mention isn't going to be useful, but that's fine. In there, 2 gimmicky things we pointed out anyway, so doesn't really make that those points obsolete. The podcast with me and Ben is fantastic. You'll learn loads about the Harlequins from that. Also, I now have 5 spaces available for the, and you guys are the first to hear about it now, for the VIP for June. So for the VIP Accelerator course, there are 5 new spaces. And yeah, all you need to do if you would like one of those 5 spaces on the Accelerator program, and you get full access, then all you need to do is email me, Stephen, at, I'm going to put it in the chat now, Vanguard Tactics .com. VanguardTactics.com. So email me to that and just say you want a VIP pass. You save 2 months as well. You get the entire course, open access, so you can study at your own pace. So you can skip to some of the later modules if you want. And also you can access our new database of army lists that are on there, which we're going to be redoing in 9th edition as well. So we've got an 8th edition in there to give us an idea, and then we're going to be going on to you know, basically 9th edition, and we'll update the whole lot. And I'm also going to record a video on how every army works as well, so that's also going to be coming. So loads of good stuff coming up over the course. And now with these new releases of the mission pack and stuff, we can keep going on with our daily lessons and our training nights and all of that good stuff, because it's just going to prepare people for that seamless transition into 9th edition. And if you sign up now for the VIP, you get a phone call with me before 9th edition drops, and you get another one completely for free after 9th edition drops as well. And that will be coaching calls where we can review your list, go over deployments and all that kind of stuff. So, or help you in any way I possibly can. And obviously we can just get a good one-to-one Zoom or Skype call in during those times. Anyway, so shoot me an email. They all sold out within the first week last month, as there are only 5, and I've only got limited time to talk to you all. So yeah, so I can't sell any more than that. And anyway, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I may be back with Joe. It will depend on the internet connection, but hopefully it will all be fine, and we can have a good laugh tomorrow as well. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you all soon.